One of the many problems that Meghan Markle truly has is literally sticking to her truth. You know, the truth that, of course, Oprah Winfrey kept reiterating during that now infamous interview all those years ago. You know, Meghan's version of events are often different to many other people's events. And I think what's interesting, even in that interview, when she said several conversations, and Prince Harry openly said one, the look of daggers she gave him, you kind of think, well, if you can't get that bit right about your story, how on earth can anybody truly ever trust you again? Now, this has been obviously the bigger problem for the British monarchy. But now as these things move along and new sort of stories come out and revelations become revealed, I can reveal to you exactly how one senior royal aide really was left stunned by the comment that Meghan Markle said to him, proving undoubtedly to him that she had indeed studied the British monarchy at great length. But as ever, one person stood in her way in revealing exactly what he thought. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. No, sounding a little bit blocked up today, aren't I? It'll get better. Don't worry. I know. By the way, thank you for your lovely comments about the Greta Garbo movie Hollywood scandal stuff. I do love finding it. And, you know, as I often say to you, it's all gone on. You know, even in the silent world, you kind of think, well, goodness, they didn't have a voice. How could you silence them? They managed it, didn't they? And as I say, John Gilbert was the biggest thing. You know, it would almost be like saying the Richard Gere of his day, the John Travolta. He was so big and now largely forgotten in Hollywood. Seemingly, it's like a lot of people, isn't it? In the blondes, say, Marilyn Monroe's truly remembered, perhaps a little bit of Jane Mansfield. What about Cherie North, Mamie Van Doren, all of those other blonde girls of that era, all swept by, all part of history. Now, will this particular individual become part of history? Meghan Markle, she's certainly become infamous because now where it gets interesting, as I often say for me, is Meghan just trips herself up time and time again. You see, when Meghan first came over to the United Kingdom and she had that very first meeting with Her Majesty the Queen, a meeting which really ranges from story to story, you know, about Fergie giving her sort of, you know, curtsying lessons to. Basically, it was a one-to-one and not pre-planned. Everything changes every single time. Now, when she first met Her Majesty the Queen, one of her loyal aides, her longest serving aide, affectionately known as Tall Paul, well, he was left stunned by this because she was outside the room while Prince Harry went in, of course, to meet and greet his grandmother, explaining who he had with him, etc. This is protocol, particularly with the monarch. Outside the room, and as ever we have to say allegedly, but this is from an impeccable source, Tall Paul was told by Meghan Markle, I recognise you. You're in the Bond video, weren't you, with Daniel Craig and the Queen? Now, what stunned Tall Paul was really this. When Her Majesty the Queen's in a video, and more importantly, 007 James Bond, and I'm jesting, of course, how on earth would you remember someone like Tall Paul? I mean, no disrespect, but as he said, he wasn't there as a prominent role, he was merely featured. The corgis got more attention, which of course led him to believe at that point, without a doubt, that she truly had very much studied the British monarchy, which again pours scorn on the other story that Prince Harry's reiterated many times, when apparently she said, who's the man at the side of Her Majesty? He pointed out it was his uncle Andrew, and she allegedly had no idea who the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, was, even though she was good friends with Princess Eugenie and had known Princess Beatrice. Well, it does kind of make you wonder whether there's something, well, radically wrong in the memory bank of Meghan Markle, or indeed, quite frankly, is Prince Harry aiming to be truly that dim? Either way, I'm on the side of Tall Paul. How about you? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.